Do VKTRY insoles actually work? That's one of the most frequent questions I get, and that's exactly why I decided to put them to the test and share the results with you. I'm not only going to talk about my personal thoughts and experiences with them after using them for almost a year, I'm also going to share the results of a force plate test I did with the help of my athletic coach Saison training. I've been working with him for 4 years and he helped me get from the 2nd division in Austria all the way into the 1st division and into the men's national team. Before we talk about all the results and my personal thoughts on the insoles, what are VKTRY insoles? If you're not familiar with them, essentially they are a carbon fiber performance insole. You have a full plate, 100% carbon fiber. They supposedly make you jump higher, run faster, and protect you better against injuries. Installation, so to speak, is relatively simple. If you have a new pair of basketball shoes, you take out the stock insoles that come with them. Usually that's very easy if they're not glued down. If they are glued down and you already use them, I suggest using a hair dryer to soften up the glue. Here it was pretty easy because New Balance usually doesn't glue down the insoles. So you take out the stock insole and you just put them right into the shoe how you would put the normal insole there. You can get them at the official VKTRY website. They retail for $150 and you can customize them to your specific sport. So naturally they're going to be a little bit different for, let's say, if you're playing American football, soccer or basketball. With that out of the way, let's get straight into my personal thoughts with them. And we're going to start it off with the things I don't like about them. I already mentioned the retail price, $150 is really expensive. It's more expensive than a lot of the basketball shoes you can see here around me. Actually the same price as my favorite basketball shoe right now, the Nike Book 1. So that's a really high price for a lot of people and just too high for some people. They just can't afford that. The second thing I don't like about them is that I don't use them with every shoe for one simple reason. Shoes that already have carbon fiber or a very stiff midfoot just feel too stiff or too hard on my feet with the VKTRY insoles in there. That's rather specific for me because I've seen a lot of people put them in the Wear 10s or the Kobe 6s or LeBron 20s, which all have carbon fiber plates. So that just might be me personally, but I just want to be honest with you and share my thoughts. I don't use them with every shoe. That's also the reason why a lot of times you'll see my shoes for today in my Instagram story, and you'll see just the regular stock insoles in, let's say, the LeBron 20s, which I use a lot for practice. That's already it with the things I don't like about the VKTRY insoles. Now for the things I do like, they add a ton of support to your shoes, which is great in my opinion. You can see just by looking at it, it's not flimsy at all. It actually takes a lot of force to bend and it rebounds back and gives you a nice rebound. If you compare that with the insole, let's say of the New Balance two-way volume 5 that I showed you before, that is really flimsy, no torsional support, no arch support. And just in general, if the shoe itself doesn't have good supportive features all around, the insole is not going to help. The regular stock insole won't help. The VKTRY insole, however, will add a lot of torsional support and in general just support to the shoe. What I also really like is that you have that extra arch support. As you can see, we have a lifted arch. It's actually a patented technology by VKTRY insoles. And that's very nice if you have flat feet, which I do have. So you get a lot of arch support in there, which makes it very nice because sometimes also my feet are prone to over-pronate, to go inside too much. So that really helps with that as well. For me, it's particularly important or nice that VKTRY insoles add more support to your shoes, because if you've been watching some of my reviews, you'll notice that I'm somebody who needs a lot of torsional support. I hate shoes that flex in the midfoot area. If they flex in the forefoot, it's okay, but I also don't need much of that. I just really need a shoe that has a stiff midfoot. And a prime example is the Nike GT Hustle 2. You'll also see them later in this video in the force plate test. They have absolutely terrible torsional support. You can really twist them all the way up there without using too much force and even fold them together like this. Kind of looks like a drop-in shoe without the drop-in midsole, but it has a regular cushioning system, which is actually really sad because I do love the design of the shoe and the cushioning setup is really nice. I also especially like this pink colorway, and now in comparison to what it looks like with the VKTRY insole in there, it's way harder to fold them together. You actually can't. You can also hear the insoles work. And also if I try to twist them like that, I'm really using a lot of force right now and I almost can't fold them together. So they do add a lot of torsional support to a shoe, which is, as said, especially important for me. The second thing I like about them is that you can actually get that carbon fiber feeling into every shoe into your collection that doesn't have a carbon fiber plate. Of course, they are expensive. They're a big investment. 150 is a steep price. I mentioned that before, But in the long run, you can use them for every pair you get, as you can just swap them out with the regular stock insoles. Now, that's enough for my personal thoughts on them. I did want to make it a little bit more scientific, so that's why last summer when I traveled to Vienna to make a force plate assessment for my off-season workout plan, I took along the VKTRY insoles. My coach, Dario Saisan Training on Instagram, was also curious about them, so I just brought them along to compare them with a shoe that has carbon fiber in them already. Before we talk about the results, Dario is going to give you a little bit more detail on what force plates are and why they're used in athletic training.
Okay, so force plate technology allows me to analyze Lucas' movement profile. So I let him jump on this platform, and then I will get a bunch of data that will tell me what his weaknesses are, what his strengths are, and what he can really improve on to increase his vertical jump speed and quickness, and also deceleration ability. So for example, in this jump he jumped 47 centimeters, he used 37 centimeters of range to go down, and it took him in total 0.89 seconds to complete the jump. And for example, in this jump here, I was able to identify that he needs to improve how to relax down, as well as deceleration ability, this red zone here, and his propulsion ability, so his ability to push off the ground, is really good in this green area here. So this is really what force plate testing allows me to do, and it just allows me to create a more detailed and better suited program to Lucas himself.
Now that that's clear, here's what we did. I had to do several jumps in my LeBron 20s that I use for gym workouts, or that I used for gym workouts last summer. And then I did some of those same jumps with the Nike GT Hustle with the VKTRY insoles in them. The results were really surprising. Again, Dario will give you more detail.
So me and Lucas tried out the VKTRY insoles versus no VKTRY insoles repeat pogo test. So on this trial without the VKTRY insoles, he was able to hit a peak jump height of 42 centimeters with only 39 centimeters average jump height. So we got the peak force, also an important metric. This is how much force you put into ground, and also it goes up when you sink less into your knees. So the quicker you return, the higher the peak force is going to be. So we had 5,300 now versus the trial with the peak, with the VKTRY insoles. He hit 44 centimeters, so increase of 2 centimeters in his jump height, and increase of 3 centimeters in his average jump height. Also the peak force went up by 160, which is also not to neglect. So whether this comes purely from the VKTRY insoles, we don't exactly know. We would have to make more trials with more different people to make this scientifically more sound. However, they kind of do give you some sort of bounce and that elastic return when they return to their original shape. They kind of give your brain a security feeling, which with that bounce and that reboundy feeling that you can use to actually enhance your jumps. So to me, VKTRY insoles seem very promising. I would love to do more experiments with them. Had a great time with Lucas.
So even though the results actually show that they helped me jump higher, a lot of people still don't believe me or the independent studies actually available on this topic. I believe that's for a very simple reason: sky-high expectations. If you can't touch the net, you won't be able to dunk with VKTRY insoles. It's as simple as that. However, if you're really close to dunking, VKTRY insoles can give you those extra few centimeters, and that might already be all you need. In conclusion, I can recommend VKTRY insoles from my personal experiences testing them, as well as from the results I got from testing them with a force plate. If you do want to cop them, make sure to take advantage of the upcoming holiday sales. They'll be on big discounts all throughout November. Just follow me on Instagram or TikTok to not miss any of those deals. If it turns out that you don't like them, you can also take advantage of the 90-day money-back guarantee. Essentially, you can try them for 3 months and then send them back for free. Just be aware that you have to pay return shipping yourselves if you're shopping from outside the US. That being said, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, I would highly appreciate a like, comment, and subscription to my channel. Have a good one, and see you next time.